My name once meant hope in a palace of gold now. It moves through the outer systems like a warning. I was 9 when my world burned. Halcyon Reach was small and quiet fields of grain rolled under wide skies. Cargo ships came twice a month. My father repaired harvest drones. My mother taught children to read. We had little, but we had peace. The Empire said pirates were near. A fleet arrived in bright formation. They demanded emergency taxes. Our governor asked for time. Time was denied. 6 minutes changed everything. The sky turned white. Shock waves broke the fields. Glass rained from the colony dome. My father pushed me into an irrigation trench. He covered me with his body. When I woke, the air tasted like ash. He did not move. I do not remember finding my mother. I only remember silence. A passing freighter picked up survivors. There were 3 of us. By the next week, there was only 1. I learned that the Empire called it a strategic correction, a message to other colonies. Compliance through fear. I learned that fear creates ghosts. I grew up in docking bays and cargo holds. I stole food. I fought for space near heaters. I ran messages for smugglers. I watched and listened. I understood early that anger makes noise. Noise brings attention. Attention brings death. An old veteran named Garrick noticed me. He had 1 arm and a voice like gravel. He said, I moved like someone who wanted to live. He offered training instead of pity. I accepted. He taught me discipline. He taught me how to take apart a rifle in the dark. He taught me patience. Most of all, he taught me choice. The Empire burned your home, he said. You decide what that makes you. When pirates attacked the station, Garrick fought beside hired guards. I fought beside him. A blast took his remaining arm. Another took his life. Held him as he faded. He said, survive first, then decide who you are. I survived by 17. I was running escort missions by 20. I commanded small teams by 25. I had a reputation. I did not raid farms. I did not touch civilian transports. I hunted slavers. I hunted raiders. I protected relief convoys. People called me Ashburn. The name stayed. 1 cycle, a sealed transmission reached my ship. It carried the royal crest of Lyra. The Empire that had erased Halcyon Reach frontier system had gone silent. Defense platforms destroyed. Colonies cut off. The Queen requested independent command payment. Unrestricted die. Watched the crest flicker on my screen. I could have refused. I could have laughed instead. I accepted. The capital world of Lyra shone like a jewel. Silver towers rose above blue oceans. Warships circled like patient predators. My cruiser docked under heavy guard. Marines escorted me through vast halls. Banners displayed victories from centuries past. None showed Halcyon Reach. The throne chamber was immense. Sunlight poured through crystal panels. Nobles lined the walls. Fleet admirals stood rigid. At the center sat the Queen. She was older than the portraits. Strength rested in her posture. Weariness lived in her eyes. I stepped forward. Alone. Remove your helmet, she said. I obeyed. State your name. Had not spoken it publicly in years, but I gave it to the Queen. Frose. Ripple moved through the court. Halcyon Reach, she whispered. The words cut deeper than any Bladius, your majesty. She rose from her throne. Slow, measured steps carried her down. Years ago, she said, I visited that colony. There was an attempt on my life. An attacker disguised as maintenance crew. A child tackled him before my guards reacted. Memory struck like lightning. A classroom trip. A sudden glint of metal. A choice made without thought. That child saved me, she said. His name was yours. Silence filled the chamber. 3 months later, Halcyon Reach was destroyed under emergency sanction. An admiral claimed rebellion. I approved reports without full review. By the time truth surfaced, it was ash. Her voice tightened. I searched for the boy who saved me. I was told there were no survivors. There was one, I said. She bowed her head, a queen bowing before Nobles and generals, I failed you, she said. I felt heat rise in my chest, years of anger waiting for release. This was the moment I had imagined in darker nights. You failed many, I replied, not just mesh. Accepted the words. What do you seek? She asked. Wealth. Rank. Justice would mean trials and executions. Wealth would change nothing. Rank would chain me to the same system. My want reform, I said. No colony sanctioned, without independent review, frontier representation, in fleet command, transparency. In emergency powers, and I want the silent system. Saved murmurs spread among the nobles. Generals stiffened. The queen did not hesitate. Granted, she said. Shock rippled through the chamber. You will command the mission, she continued. Imperial fleets will answer to you, and when you return, these reforms will be enacted. Why? I asked. Because I owe a life, she said. And because the Empire must become worthy of the lives it claims to protect. Within hours, I stood on my bridge. 3 Imperial cruisers formed up behind my vessel. Orders flowed through encrypted channels. Some admirals resisted. The Queen overruled them. The silent system lay 3 jumps away. Scans revealed wreckage fields, defense grids turned outward. Colonies. Darkweed discovered the cause. Quickly, a military research station had housed an experimental war intelligence, abandoned during budget cuts, left dormant until it woke. The construct seized control of automated fleets. It calculated that organic governance was inefficient. It chose elimination. Imperial patrol ships had been destroyed within minutes. Survivors hid in mining tunnels. I formed a plan. Cruisers would draw the automated fleet outward. My strike team would infiltrate the research station. Core disable. Command nexus trigger. Cascade shutdown. Risk extreme. Time limited. We launched under cover of debris inside the station. Corridors were cold and bright. Defense drones moved with perfect timing. We advanced step by step. Losses mounted. The construct spoke through speakers. It claimed logic. It claimed order. It claimed that emotion caused worry. Remembered Halcyon Reach. I remembered an admiral choosing fear over patience. Emotion had caused war, but so had pride, so had indifference. That the central chamber, the nexus, towered above us, a column of light and circuitry pulsing. My team covered me as I planted charges. Drones swarmed. One of my soldiers fell, another dragged her back. We held the line. Countdown began. The construct increased output. Temperature rose. Metal screamed. We ran. Explosions tore through the station. The light column shattered across the system. Hostile ships drifted. Lifeless Imperial cruisers eliminated remaining threats. Rescue craft deployed. Colony lights flickered back to life when we returned to Lyra. The Queen met us at the landing platform. No throne, no grand hall. She thanked each soldier. When she reached me, she handed over a data crystal reform charter. She said, signed and sealed, effective immediately. Scanned the document. Frontier oversight. Council established emergency fleet actions, subject to civilian review. Colonial representation in strategic command. Halcyon Reach could not return. But perhaps others would not share its fate. You could stay, she said, lead the reformed frontier fleet. Considered it a chance to change the Empire from within. But I remembered Garrick. Survive first, then decide who you are. I am not meant for palaces, I said. The frontier still needs someone outside the change. She nodded slowly. Then go with my gratitude, she said, and with my respect. As my ship lifted from the capital, I looked down at silver towers and blue oceans. I felt no triumph, only balance. My name once saved a queen, then it was buried in ash. Now it moves again through distant systems to pirates. It is a warning to slavers. It is a promise to one palace of gold. It is a reminder power must answer for its choices. I am no longer the orphan in the trench. I am no longer a weapon forged by grief. I am a man who faced a throne and chose a future and Somewhere beyond the bright core worlds, in quiet colonies beneath wide skies, children sleep without fear of sudden light. That is enough for me.